Bill O'Reilly here, Tuesday, October 22nd, 2019. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening across our nation. Mayor Buttigieg surges to third place in Iowa. Secretary of State Pompeo says the USA is ready to attack Turkey if we have to. New polls show Americans consider the federal government one of the country's biggest problems. San Francisco places 22 states on a travel blacklist over abortion. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau keeps power in Canada. Also ahead, the message of the day, why Americans take so many drugs. But first, South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg rising to third place in Iowa, according to a new poll. Mayor Pete riding a wave of positive momentum following a strong debate performance in Ohio. Buttigieg currently trails frontrunners Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren by just 5% in Iowa. Secretary of State Pompeo telling reporters America is fully prepared to take military action against Turkey if necessary. Pompeo saying the Trump administration prefers peace to war but will defend Kurds living in northern Syria if Turkey attacks them. The Pentagon began withdrawing U.S. troops from the region earlier this month to great controversy. New poll from Gallup says the federal government is a problem. The survey showing 34% of Americans cite poor leadership and politicians as the most important issue in modern times. That's 1 point short of an all-time record set during the government shutdown. Climate change was last on the problem list at just 4%. San Francisco officials placing 22 states on an official blacklist, blocking government-funded travel due to local restrictions on abortion. The list includes Texas, Florida, Massachusetts, and many more. Mayor London Breed telling reporters a travel ban is, quote, sending a clear message to states that disregard a right to abortion, unquote. The action also sends another clear message that the city of San Francisco does not respect opposing points of view. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau winning a second term in his country's general election. His Labour Party took the most seats across Canada but fell short in securing a full majority, meaning Trudeau is now dependent on opposition parties. In a moment, why is the drug scourge so bad in the USA? Right back with the O'Reilly Update, message of the day. Americans all over the country are voting with their feet, fleeing high-tax states like California and New York for states with lower tax burdens, including Texas and Florida. If you are thinking of voting with your feet, you need to check out realestateagentsitrust.com. At realestateagentsitrust.com, you can find a great agent in your hometown who will help you sell your home quickly and for top dollar. And wherever you're looking to move, you have great agents there too. They'll work on your behalf to find you a great new home and be your advocate so you can buy without the stress, worry, and travel of buying remotely. All agents have been heavily vetted for their past performance and, like you, are fans of this program. They are also waiting to welcome you into their communities and help you find your dream home. So get moving with realestateagentsitrust.com. That's realestateagentsitrust.com. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day, drug use in America. The homeless armies currently vexing San Francisco, Los Angeles, and other cities consist largely of substance abusers who cannot afford dwellings because they spend all their money getting high. They also cannot keep jobs. This is now an epidemic in the USA. 4 companies that manufacture opioids have made a legal settlement this week where $260 million will be paid to communities struggling with drug addiction. The lawsuit cites 400,000 overdose deaths in the USA between 1997 and 2017. And now, with heroin being laced with fentanyl, death is rising among addicts. Here's some stats. half of all unemployed men in America are addicted to opioids. Opioids account for 70% of fatal prescription drug overdoses. Experts say there are likely 2.4 million Americans addicted to opioids. Overdose rates have doubled in the past decade. Approximately 259 million prescriptions for opioids were written last year, enough to give every adult in the country their own bottle of pills. 1 in 100 citizens between the ages of 12 and 17 abuse opioids on a regular basis, and 4 out of 5 new heroin addicts say they started out misusing prescription painkillers. The CDC estimates opioid abuse is an $80 billion a year problem, including healthcare costs, treatment, and its impact on the criminal justice system. There is no question that America leads the league in drug addiction, and that includes folks psychologically addicted to pot and booze. We have money in this country, and our closest neighbor, Mexico, is pretty much run by drug smugglers, so do the math. Drug addiction is a disease, but one that is sought out. Everybody knows the dangers of hard drugs, yet millions decide to use them, often leading to disaster for themselves and others, especially children. 75% of all the child abuse and neglect in America is caused by adults using substance. The only solution is mandatory rehab, where addicts are confined and therapy provided. But civil libertarians will not accept that. The ACLU will never allow mandatory rehabilitation. They will sue and sue and sue. So, America will continue to be a drug-plagued nation, and millions of us will be destroyed. And that's a message. Please check out my latest book, The United States of Trump, big bestseller. Also, I do a daily newscast on BillO'Reilly.com that you can see and I think you'll like. Up next, something you might not know. Forget Russian hackers and elections for a moment, please. This is worse. Cyber thieves are stealing American homes. Guess where your home's legal title and mortgage documents are kept? Online. Wide open. Your signature and everything thieves need to take over ownership of your home is easily available online. Thieves forge your name off the title, then refile the deed so it appears you sold it. Then they go to unscrupulous lenders and borrow money using your home's equity. Then they disappear, and you get stuck with the payments. Banks, insurance, and identity theft programs do not protect you. Home Title Lock does. Home Title Lock puts a virtual firewall around your home's title and mortgage, and they monitor the black market to see if your home is for sale. Your home equity is your retirement, your emergency fund. Let me help protect it with 60 risk-free days of Home Title Lock. So please go to HomeTitleLock.com and enter your address to see if you're already a victim. Defend yourself at HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. Traveling can be one of the greatest joys in life, but it can also test our patience, especially in the air. Canceled flights, lost baggage, delays, air travel, a big headache sometimes. Despite the annoyances, it is by far the most efficient way to see the world. At any moment, there are more than 5,000 flights operating in American airspace. That's 3 million people per day. When things go wrong, Americans are not shy about sharing their disillusionment. Here's a look at the airlines with the most complaints, according to WalletHub's annual airline survey. First up, United Airlines, no stranger to controversies and complaints. United actually crushed a worker on the runway earlier this year, killed a family dog in flight, even forced a passenger to sit in another person's vomit, not to mention multiple arrests for drunken staff at United. United Airlines scoring just 46 points out of a possible 100 in the complaint survey. American Airlines even worse. Company made major headlines in recent weeks for racial profiling, mid-flight marijuana smoking, and one mechanic intentionally sabotaging a plane. All of that in the last 2 months. An astonishing 22% of AA flights have arrived late so far this year. The company scored 38 points out of 100 in the survey. The worst, Frontier Airlines. They lead the league in canceled flights, denied boardings, and mechanical failures. Frontier scored 30 points out of a potential 100 on the survey. But these are the stories that actually make the headlines. Regular Americans are unhappy about much more. According to Air Travel Consumer Report, 1 in 10 issues involves reservations mistakes. Poor customer service is also near the top of the list, but the biggest gripe, lost luggage, 15% of total complaints. And here's something you might not know. One of the earliest recorded airline complaints came from a very unlikely source. Quote, "The course of the flight up and down was exceedingly erratic, partly due to the irregularity of the air, and partly due to lack of experience," unquote. Aviation pioneer Orville Wright said that in 1903. Some things never change. Back after this. Millions of Americans have been diagnosed with cancer or a serious illness. If you are one of them and money is a problem, you're not alone. It's simple. If you own a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more, then Life Guide Partners can evaluate your coverage for free to see if you qualify for cash now when you need it the most. Be ready to take down this number. If you own a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more and you are living with a serious illness, then Life Guide Partners can evaluate your coverage free to see if you qualify for cash now. So write this number down, 1-888-GUIDE-50. Totally free to call. Get rid of those insurance premiums. Stop paying them. Consider turning that life policy into cash. The number again, 1-888-GUIDE-50. 1-888-484-3350. 1-888-GUIDE-50. Call now. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.